Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Did you change your clocks? I was talking with some people in the live chat before we started how I felt like today took forever for 7:30 to get here. And then I felt like I was running behind. Like I thought, oh, I'm supposed to be somewhere. I'm supposed to be somewhere. I got this going on. And I'm like, it's only 2 o'clock. so so anyway, yeah, today felt like it was super long. And let's see. Let me see if everybody see me. Yep, I can see. I can see me on here. So yes, and people are already starting to do the chat. Yeah, the time change. You know what? And I did hear that in the United States anyway, there is legislation so that this would be the last time change that we do. Actually, no, wait. It would be when we go forward again. Um, that will be the last time change that we do, and it would stay the same. It's already passed the House. It needs to pass the Senate, and we don't know where that's going to go because we have an election next week and we have no idea. But anyway, I am hoping that this is like the last time we have to deal with this and we could just leave the clocks alone because my dogs don't understand the time change and my kids never understood the time change. And my body is like, what's going on? So anyway, let's see who is here. Oh my goodness, a whole bunch of people came in. So I wanted to say hello to Lori and Nate. You guys, we were having a nice little chat before everything was starting. So I want to thank you guys for being here and chatting with me. And let's see who else is here. Yes, I'm looking on my phone because it's just easier for me to sit back. Creative Redundancy, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. LG, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Rachel, hello. Good to see you tonight. Martin Phillips from Fayetteville. Good to see you as well. Let's see who else. Farmer Son Prepping. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Living by Faith Homestead. Hello. And let's see, who else do we have? Okay, that's all that I see so far. Everyone's saying hello to each other and welcoming everyone in the chat, and I love to see that. And so I just want to kind of dig right in. Um, uh, First of all, I do want to take a minute to talk about the Friday Five that's been going on. I want to just thank everyone for taking this challenge and participating. It's been super fun. I've been meeting new people. Everyone has taken the challenge to try to see if they can take $5 from, however, if they're going to say no to something, like a coffee, or maybe getting that sandwich, that chicken sandwich or something, or whatever, just taking $5 out of their budget and buying pantry items. Actually, we shouldn't even really say pantry items. You could buy prepper items because I've seen people buying jugs of water. I've seen people buying food. I've seen people buying batteries, or actually like cleaners and things. This is just what we do. We're filling in the holes. So I'm loving to see how people are getting that $5 to stretch. Uncle Al told me in one of the comments that he bought 10 cans of vegetables because they were 50 cents a piece. I thought that was really awesome. So, you guys, there's lots of ideas. Go look in the playlist on my channel. It's called the Friday Five. And you can see all kinds of different channels and what everyone's getting. It might give you some new ideas. So there's my Friday Five commercial for you. Thanks for thanks, Farmer Son, for telling everyone to smash the thumbs up button. That really does help out a lot. And Maple Cook, hello. Welcome to the chat. And I do want to just start right off. We're just going to dive right into this. I think I posted it on YouTube, but I know I posted it on my Instagram channel. A picture of the automated checkouts now at our Walmart. Now, our Walmart has gone under a huge, huge renovation. The store looks completely different. I mean, it wasn't just moving some things around or relocating items. I mean, they flipped that store upside down, inside out. They put new stuff up and they ripped out all of the cashier lanes except for 10. And everything, even the old self checkouts that they had, everything is new. We had a whole section of self checkouts that were the belt, they actually looked kind of like a cashier lane, but it was the self checkout. Um, and so all of that is all different. It's got some of the smaller um, little areas there. I guess they don't want you to buy a whole lot. I don't know. But anyway, there are only 10 regular cashier lanes, which they now have a sign that says assisted checkout, which to me kind of sounded like it was assisted living facility. I'm sorry, y'all. It did. I'm just like, assistance. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing and I need help if I have to go to the cashier. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably not saying it very well, but I felt like it was all of a sudden that was the not so cool thing to do. It's cool to go to the self checkout. You know what I mean? Um, hey Storms, Radio Cat. Hello, good to see you. Um, oh, so Lori, your store has like two. Yeah. So well, we have like 10 cashier lane spots things, and then but there's only like two or three the whole time. So that's a pet peeve I have anyway. If you're gonna have people there, especially this time of year when we're starting to get into the big holiday rush and everything, you need to have those lanes open, because not, I mean, when you make a huge change like this, not everyone is going to understand the self checkout system, and it's going to take some time for people to get used to that, so more people are using it. Yeah, yeah, Baby Yoda, that's my baby. Oh, look, and look at my mug, the child. Yeah, Yoda stays with me on my chats. Yeah, see, doesn't Maple Cook, it does sound like it's assisted living, doesn't it? I don't know. I saw that up there and it was like, what? No, actually, no, that was Lori, that was actually for not for handicap. That wasn't the handicap lane. That was actually assisted checkout. So that was interesting. So um So LG, we're going to get into this a whole lot tonight. LG says, I don't like the self checkouts. They're a pain in the butt. And I like to support the people working there. We're going to get into this because this is a huge thing. I worked retail and I was a cashier for a store in Michigan. It was called Meyer. Where are my Michigan people? I don't know if Nene's in the chat, but Michigan, when I was, that's where I was born and raised. But I had a job there, and it's very much like Meyer is very much like a Walmart. It has, clothes, automotive, groceries, all the kind of stuff or whatever. And so when I was working there, I worked the express checkout. This is before we had self checkouts, but I worked the express lane. And so I understand cashiers. I also worked retail. I understand cashiers. I also worked other jobs. So I have a huge, vast experience in different things. And so we're going to talk about this because let's talk about why they really are a pain to some people, and are they really losing their jobs? We're going to talk about that. Labradorite. Let me see. Is that? Yeah. Oh, no, say Labradorite. I don't know if I'm saying that right or if it's a different way. In Australia, having the same changes. I'm suspicious when it happens globally at the same time. We're going to talk about this too. We are going to talk about this. Hey there, KG47. Good. I am glad that you like this subject and we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. We're going to pick it apart a little bit. Oh yeah, Lowe's home improvements went self checkout. Also, Costco. Costco has a lot of self checkout lanes in there too. Sven. Welcome to the chat. Glad to hear from Norway. I am so excited that you're here. I love that we get people from all over, and Creative Redundancies from Canada. We have some from Australia. I love it. Publix has a self checkout. It's cards only. Correct. I have not. We used to have some self checkouts that had little cash slots in there, and I have not actually been nosy enough in the Walmart to actually look for that. But yeah, and Publix. Elizabeth. Who did I miss? Elizabeth. Oh, here we go. Elizabeth. Hello. Locklear. Elizabeth Locklear. Welcome to the chat. Also had conversations with an older guy about all of this. We both queued up for the staffed checkout and waited rather than use the self. He said, "Okay, so at least 2 jobs gone." Okay, that's a myth. We're going to talk about that. And I'm going to use my own experience on that as well. Uh-oh, Rachel. I hate self-checkout at Martin's. It drives me insane. So put down in the chat what really drives you insane, drives you nuts, makes you bonkers when you're using self-checkout. Is it because you just don't really understand the system? Like for me, because I'm a cashier and I have experience, I could put in all of those PLU codes and the little produce codes and stuff in there. The only thing I need is a little cashier ID. I could just stick it in there and fix things. But is it just because you just don't understand it? Is it the self checkout lane's fault or is it the user fault? Just kind of getting there. I'm being a little sassy tonight, y'all. Okay. So let's see. Lori says that the public stores in Florida are just starting to get self checkouts, but at this point, they still have cashiers working. Okay. Here's another thing. Just the big company trying to squeeze regular folks for more money. They don't give you a discount. Oh, okay. Oh gosh. We're going to start talking about this right now. Hey, KG, you're a Michigan person. You're originally Ohio. Well, I can forgive you for that. I'm kidding. There's always a rivalry between Michigan and Ohio people. Okay. The one whom Jesus loves. Hello. Welcome. All right. So we have a lot of people that just came in. Ark Wildman, welcome. Okay, finding the barcodes. That's a good answer. Finding the barcodes. All right. So you kind of have to figure out where those are at. Just understanding them. Okay, so this is interesting. The one whom Jesus loves. Self-checkout sucks. I was a cashier and I still hate self-checkouts. It's the robot's fault. All right. So let's talk about this. Rachel, oh, I'm sorry. Rachel says, I understand self-checkout. It's the automated voice. Do you know what at CVS, the ones that we have at CVS, they're super loud. So like you so if you want to buy anything that's personal, you don't want to go to CVS because it's like put your boom hemorrhoid cream in the bag. And then everybody knows that you bought that. So it's like, oh my gosh, can you turn the volume down on these things? Yeah, okay, so I get you, Rachel. Oh gosh. Well, okay, so this is okay, so this is an issue. There's no one to help, only one person running around fixing the glitches. I get that. I get that. And again, this is where we are going to have to use them. So let's just hold off. Technology never works the way it should, and it doesn't in my house. When I got something going on with my computer, okay, and I do all the troubleshooting that I know how to do, and then I go ahead and I have to now resort to calling my husband, Mr. Husband, Mr. Sassy Pants, will you come in here? My computer's not doing anything. He walks into the room and I kid you not, my computer decides to work. All he did was walk the room. And I'm like, so now I look like I'm a liar. And I'm like, but it wasn't working just a second ago. So, all right. So Martin says that Walmart got fine time for their self-checkout cheating people. Okay, so this is interesting. Was the self-checkout, was it just, it was a computer thing that was not charging correctly? Because there are issues with people cheating the system too. So it does go both ways. LG, I've worked at a cashier before and don't want to do that again. I don't want to argue with the machine or be told I have wrong items in the basket. I look, I know I'm speaking from cashier to cashier. I got you. Okay. But it's sometimes if you just have to learn this system, because when I know at my Martin's grocery store, the system is different than it is at Walmart. And of course, at Walmart, we have brand new everything. So I don't know if that made a difference because the old Walmart self-checkouts, everything is all brand new now. So I don't know. But I do know that the system at my Martin's grocery store is different. And it's just a way of, you can hit a skip bagging thing. You can, you just have to wait So you have to move slower. See, I'm fast, and when I was a cashier, I moved at the pace like they do at Aldi. You've ever been to Aldi grocery store? They go, you barely have enough time to like get yourself together, and they got you checked out, and they're waiting for your money. And so I want to move fast. And a lot of those self checkout systems don't let you move fast. You do have to go at that pace because the system has to register. But I also did notice that these new systems at Walmart do not they don't wait for you to like put something in the basket before you can scan again. So there's some different things that are coming out. So I said I wasn't going to look at this. I wasn't going to look at the chat on the screen. Hey McBean, hello, welcome to the chat. Because I have to look up because of my glasses. I'm an old lady, y'all. So no, Lori, they're not going to lose money on the self checkouts. They're not going to lose money. I'll tell you why, because they're gonna be able to get more money going. All right, so let me get to this, y'all. Okay, so first of all, okay, so I heard some things in the comments about somebody said, and I've heard this before too, that we want that I should get a discount because I'm scanning my own groceries. So let me take you back on a history lesson. Okay. Way back when some of you were alive when I say like, let's say like 40s, maybe the 1940s, 1950s, maybe even before that. I think, hold on a second, which was the first store? It was the first Piggly Wiggly, and I think it was 1916. Hang on a second. If I got that information right, it was Piggly Wiggly, and in 1916, he invented the first self-service grocery store. Now, what does that mean? Back in the day, you would take your grocery list to the grocery store, and you would hand it to the clerk, and the clerk would take your list, and they would get the items for you and then bring them up to the front. And of course, they would ring you up, so you would pay, and then someone would take the groceries out to your car, right? And then from there, it was your business. You would take your groceries inside your house and put them away. Okay. But Piggly Wiggly decided to do the grocery store in which shoppers browsed the aisles themselves and you could choose what you want. And people discovered that they liked to choose their own items, choose their own produce, choose their own, I don't know, cereal, their own sugar. They can touch the items and feel, and discovered that they liked that. And so it swept the industry. Okay. And so now we have people that are going to the grocery store and they take their list and they do their own shopping. All right. So let me ask you this. If you're going to do your own shopping, from making your list to going into the store and perusing the entire store and picking out everything, making decisions, reading labels, doing comparison shopping, you're going to come up to the front of the store. All right. And a cashier is going to check you out. Right. And then you take your own groceries to the store or to the car and then take them home. So there's already two jobs back from 1960 until whenever we stopped doing, or when actually, no, we're still doing our own grocery shopping. However, we didn't take away a job. That person who was called a grocery gopher actually went and did something else that freed them up. So it's actually freeing up the labor. And we don't think of that. It wasn't taking away the gopher job of getting the groceries. It freed them up to do something else. They didn't lose their job. Okay. But we're doing the quote, the labor. Okay. Same thing with gas attendants. Way back then, we had people, people pumped our gas. We couldn't pump our gas. I had heard somewhere that, we weren't allowed to pump our own gas, but anyway, I would have to verify that. However, back then, an attendant would come out, pump your gas for you, and they would clean your windows and do all this stuff. They don't do that anymore. They freed up, listen to that, the attendant to go do other things. And now we're doing the labor of pumping our own gas. Okay. And so think about, I want to ask you a question. Maybe I don't want to do that right yet. All right. So we're already doing free labor in all of these areas. We bus our own tables at fast food restaurants. Okay. McDonald's, Burger King, anywhere that you eat inside that's a fast food restaurant. And I'm not talking about like, Ruby Tuesdays, Red Robin, or Denny's or something like that. You don't bust your own tables. But in these other restaurants, you do. Fast food restaurants, you bust your own tables. We pump our own gas. We clean our own windows. We shop for our own groceries. We take our groceries to our car. Okay, we load them up ourselves. If you shop at Aldi, you actually take your cart back. So you get a little quarter and you stick it in the little handle of the cart, and it unlocks the cart. You shop around the store or whatever, and then you bring the cart back and you get your quarter back. Okay, that ensures cart return. So that means that somebody else doesn't go out and get the carts from the parking lot. That frees them up. It didn't take their job away, but it frees them up to be able to go inside and do other things. I don't know, stocking, bagging. We don't have baggers anymore. When I was the cashier, I had a bagger, and then we lost our baggers. And of course, they went somewhere else in the store and they did another job. They didn't lose their job from the company, but then I had to bag my own stuff as a cashier. I had to bag the all of the orders that came in. And then, of course, did that slow me down a little bit? Yes, but I learned to get faster. Um, so anyway, we discovered that we like doing our own things and we like choices. So we're already doing a lot of this free labor. So let me ask you this. So if you're going through, I forgot to ask you the question. So if you're going to go through the grocery store and go to the trouble of making your list and doing all of the shopping and doing all of the stuff except for payment and scanning your groceries, why wouldn't you scan your own groceries? Because self-service is the best service, because you are bagging your own groceries. So you know how much you can bag, how much you can carry. You're going to make sure that your bread isn't getting squished by a can of potatoes. You're going to, you're going to bag how you need to carry. I actually save Walmart bags because I don't need to use 3 bags to bag, I don't know, 2 boxes of cereal. I've seen some cashiers at Dollar Tree and at Walmart will double bag everything, and I'm like, no, please, I don't need that many bags. So anyway, so why wouldn't you want to scan your own groceries? You're not doing someone else's job. You're not taking the cashier's job away through the self checkouts or the automated checkouts, because that cashier is now being trained to do other things in the store. They're being trained for, they're able to do other things. We're freeing up the labor to do other things to make the company to bring in more money. So um, I'm sure that left some comments. Cue fast effect. Sorry. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. So I'm sure that left a lot of comments, and I'm going to go through here and try to catch up. Okay, so bear with me. I just like dealing with people. Connections, simple self checkouts can get lost. Right. The other thing is, I do love connecting with people, but I'll tell you, like 9 times out of 10, I can get out faster than going through the checkout lane, because maybe it's just my Walmart. I got all of the slow people there that really take their time. And I swear one hand doesn't move, because they just use one hand, take one item and move it across the scanner and put it in a bag. They do not use the other hand. It's just, I don't know how that is, but they just I don't know. But anyway, it actually does free up your time, because I can go anywhere. It's like, I'm standing in line, I gotta wait, and how much time do I waste? It's actually freeing up my time. So actually, I am getting paid, because I'm getting paid in time, because I don't have to stand in line. I've stood in line at Walmart because, like I said, they only have like maybe 2 or 3 lanes open, and I would have to wait almost 30 minutes before I could actually get in. And then I have to actually wait for the person to cash out. And, so you can tell I'm for this. But I mean, I do like the people connection, you know. But even then, I mean, so there's a lot of cashiers, and there's a lot of sometimes there's just not any interaction at all. You can't talk to them. It's like talking to a brick. Yes, I'm an old lady. Yeah, and this is an issue. This is something that will have to happen. There's cameras on all of ours, so I don't know. There's cameras everywhere in our area, so So this is what I just addressed. So I don't work there, so why should I be forced to learn every store's new system? You're not forced, unless you don't have another option. Right now, currently, there are still options for you to go to a cashier. So no one's forced to use the system. All right, and the self checkout. It's still a choice. You can use the cashier or you can go to the self checkout. So there's no forcing here. But I do foresee that there will be, like this may be our only option is to, have self checkouts and that's it. Everything is going to be, automated and there'll be no cashiers. I don't know that for sure though. I can't really see, not at least in the near future, that there would be anything like that because we still need people to be up there to help. And maybe that would just mean that there's more cashiers now that they're not working on a lane. They would actually come into the self checkout area and assist more people in the self checkout area. But there's no force. You don't have to right now. There's still an option. Right. So, but not every, see, when I was a cashier, I didn't join a union. So I did other jobs around Meyer. I polished floors and I did things. So, so this depends on where you work as well, because that could be a grocery union, like you said. But my daughter works for Hobby Lobby and you are trained to work the register, but you work everywhere else in the store too. So when you're on your shift, you log into a register and then you may not be on that register, maybe for maybe half an hour. It depends on what's needed. If it's not very fast, you get off your register and you go do other things in the store, like putting up stock, cleaning, working in the back, unloading stuff, all kinds of stuff there. So you are actually, that it makes a better employee because you're not always doing one thing. And so I don't know if any other places are adopting that, and I really don't know Walmart's union policy if they, what their grocery union is. But I was never a union person because I don't like unions. That's my thing. I remember this, Nene. Like I would have something similar to this one. My mom used to do that too. Send you with a small list and a blank signed check. Cashier would get items and fill check amount. Oh wait, okay, so I misinterpreted that. So yeah, so never today, obviously, no. But I do remember my mom signing a blank check, and then I would go fill out um, the amount at the grocery store. But yeah, you can't get that kind of stuff today either. Hi, Rita. Yeah, clothes shopping is a pain. So like when I go to some place like Kohl's or a department store, there's no self checkout there because you got to take off those security things. They have those little security tags on the clothes so that you can't walk out of the store with them. And so you have to have someone take those off. I don't think there will be a self checkout for that, but I don't know. I don't know. There's more online stuff that's happening. So unemployment. Okay, so let me write this down so we can come back to this. Unemployment on the rise. It's not because of automation, because it's there's still lots of jobs out there. It's unemployment is, I think, something that's manufactured in the news because people aren't wanting to go to work. At least that's over the past couple years. You go to any store in my town and everybody is hiring. I mean, and I know it's the Christmas season, but this whole year, everybody was hiring and it seemed like they kept changing. They kept throwing in this benefit and this thing and weekends off and this and a signing bonus. They can't get people to work. Now that's my area. It might be different in other places, but if unemployment is on the rise, that's because it's not because there aren't any jobs. There are jobs out there, maybe not big paying jobs. But I wrote unemployment down so we can come back to that. Yes, I really do miss having a bagger as well. They are so helpful. Now, my grocery discount store that I go to, Sharp Shopper, which is just a regional little store here in the Mid-Atlantic area, and they have baggers in the store. I really like this because there's no self checkout there. The people are super nice. They have baggers. They will help you take stuff to your car if you need. And so but they have all lanes open, all cashiers working. They don't have just like a couple open, you know. So anyway, I do like that. The baggers really do make a big difference. I did it my way. Everybody together now. Oh gosh. Carbon Q, hello. Tony D DG. Tony DG. Hello. 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 Okay. So actually, now that you can't walk like I used to be able to, if I had to check myself out, everyone behind me would be so mad at how slow I was being. Well, it depends on where you go because if you came to my Walmart, there are like a million self checkouts you could go to because they just like strip the whole front and everything is self checkouts. It's just oh my gosh. I was shocked when I went in there actually. Okay. Oh, you're probably long gone now, McBean, but thank you for coming. Thank you for being here today. Yeah, nay, nay. Our cashiers are slow and I'm way quicker. Yeah. Yep. And so I don't mind. Yeah, I think it's checkout is faster. Um, I'm looking, hang on a second. There was something here. I had things starred that I wanted to say. Um, because this was back to the Piggly Wiggly thing. So hold on. So where is it? This was like oh, okay, here we go. Because now we're talking. This is about Amazon Go, and Amazon Go is in some stores. I know some of the bigger cities out on the West Coast, but so for example, maybe Amazon itself will be able to recruit and train enough former cashiers as programmers and testers to get next gen Kindle Fire off the ground. Now, this is hypothetical, okay? Add this to all the creations that would be possible if entrepreneurs and workers didn't have to waste so much time standing in line. They're bringing it to a time issue. This quote comes from, let's see, who wrote this quote? Hang on a second. Dan Sanchez, who writes for FEE Stories. And he says, you can only get material progress when you allow change. And you can only have change if you don't flip out and pass a law every time someone faces the possibility of getting laid off. If you really want to hold on to a world of cashiers and lines, then there's a non-impoverishing way of doing so. Work to repeal the minimum wage laws that artificially accelerate the automation-based displacement of low-skilled jobs. That's a hefty quote. So I'm going to say that again because the problem here, why do we have all of the accelerated automation stuff? It's because minimum wage laws. So work to repeal the minimum wage laws, which we can probably help with some of that by voting on Tuesday. Maybe, right? And those minimum wage laws that we have now is what's artificially accelerating the automation based displacement of low skilled jobs. So I want to let's think about this for like low skilled jobs. Okay. So I'm talking about things like maybe a bagger, someone that is, these are part-time jobs. Okay. I know some cashiers can work full-time. But even the full-time pay of a cashier is still not enough to be able to support you today anyway. It may have been, 20 years ago when I was a cashier. Actually, it was more like 25 years ago. It may have, you may have been able to make more money then. I don't know. Well, actually, no, you're making more money now, but it's not going very far. So my daughter could work full-time at Hobby Lobby and make a decent salary, something that I made when I was first started working and could live on my own and support myself and pay rent, car payments, groceries, that kind of stuff. She can barely do that on a budget that she would make at Hobby Lobby working full time, making a buku amount more than I made when I was her age. And it would be hard for her to support herself. She would need a roommate in order to be able to pay rent and even have a modest car payment. We're talking like a used car payment, groceries and that kind of stuff. It would be very hard for her to do it on her own. She could do it with a roommate. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, this is a huge, this is full um, of info here, heavy thought here, because we have to, it's the minimum wage laws that are doing this. Okay. Because you look at your McDonald's and Burger Kings. I'm only familiar with the McDonald's, but you've got, they were like the first ones to switch to the kiosks inside their restaurants. And so you go inside the restaurant, you would put on the huge screen and you would put your order in on that screen, and then you just stand there in the lobby, and then they call your number and your food is ready. And there's people in there, they're not talking to you, right? If so, there's no personal thing there, but I mean, you're like standing like few feet away from someone. Why can't I just give my order to you? But no, I got to do it through a kiosk. At this point, you're better off going to the drive-through. Just go through the drive-through, put your order with a person, pay your money, get your food, and drive off. I mean, there's really, like, at that point, why, right? Why bother? Let's see. Let's go through some more of these comments. Unless you get behind me, it takes me forever to get checked out. I mean, I have huge orders when I go too. So right. So yeah, talking about Aldi, and I'm fairly certain all these stores are this way. You shop for your own stuff, you put it on the belt, the cashier scans it, you pay, but the cashier puts all your stuff in the cart, in another cart. So it's gone in the cart by you, it's gone on the belt, it's gone back into another cart. Then you got to take it back out to bag it and then put it back in your cart and take it to your car. So yeah, you're doing a lot of the work. And yeah, we're calling it free labor because it's freeing up the cashiers to do strictly that, get people in and out. I that was All these cashiers are like the fastest ones I deal with now. They just zip 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 zip, and that just frees them up to strictly do that. And then when they're done, they log off their registers. I've seen them do this when there's nobody else up there, and they go do other stuff. They go like stock up something. They organize the I don't know, the gum racks or whatever is up front. They go and they do other stuff, and then they're back up there doing their job. But I've noticed that a lot of stores do that, where you're not. Books a Million, my oldest daughter worked at Books a Million before she stopped working there at 2020 because everything shut down. But at Books a Million, it was the same thing. You're on register, and like maybe you're the one that's always appointed on the register. It's like two or three people, and managers, of course, can always get up there, but you have your own drawer that you're responsible for. And then, but when there's nothing going on, you're out in the store doing other stuff, and then you're doing stock. And sometimes you may close the store, and then you have to empty truck and do stuff. So it's not just that. So like, and then another day you'll go into work, you won't be on register, you'll be there racking books, and you'll doing other things and organizing and rebuilding shelves and that kind of stuff. And so the next day you come to work, you might be on the register. So a lot of these retail jobs are doing this, where they're moving you around the store, where you're not always like, I'm hired as a cashier for this place. Now, as I said, I don't know what Walmart is, I don't know what Meijer is, or I don't know what kind of unions or anything that they have, but I do know that companies are doing that because it makes it you have a job and they can put you anywhere in the store. That makes you more of a valuable employee rather than only being able to do one job in the store. And I think every cashier and every person, really, they should learn to do every job in the store. So as cashiers, if they should be stockers so that they know the stock. That's one of the things that we had to do. You should know how to take care of other things, doing other things, so that you can work in any department at any time. Just like I don't have to be a cashier today, I can pick up extra hours and work over here in the electronics department. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Walmart. If someone on here is at Walmart, then they can tell us how that works. Okay, so I don't know. I have a camera that when I check out at Walmart, and I was just there just a couple days ago. That camera is right on me. So I don't know if they're not watching the customers and they're watching the employees. Now that was that I'm talking about cameras that are right at the registers. There's some that are up here that are hanging that I've turned around and waved at the television because I could, we like to do that kind of stuff. We jump and we wave and, pick our nose in front of people. No, I'm kidding. We don't pick our nose. But we make funny faces at the cameras because they're watching. But yeah, there's different cameras that are watching the lane, the actual like up above, but every single self checkout register that I've ever checked out at, it's got a camera standing at me right in the face. And so I go like this, I do that in front of the cameras because I'm just like, I see you watching me. So, so I don't know. I don't know about all of the cameras watching just the employees. I know that there's one right on me the whole time I'm working. So right, you don't have to if you don't want to. Probably I would agree with this. Really, the big issue is the removal of cash registers. Yes. I would agree with that. I would agree that everything would be automated. In fact, even like when debit cards first came out, I think that was a big thing too. That was a big push is that if you were going to pay cash, you were going to be slower and you were going to hold up the lines. Paying with debit is faster. Paying with your Visa card, and Amazon also has the Palm scan now as well. So that's going to be making its way out. So it's a bio scan. And so you can literally, and they promote it this way too. You have your hands full. Mom has a kid on her hip, or she might have something else and is just all kinds of whatever and just whoop, just scan your palm over the little thing and you're done. No cash, no card, no nothing. Bioscan. And so those are out. I can't remember where they're at. Amazon Fresh, or this might be in the Amazon Go store. And I know they're out in Portland. And that's about all I know. I'm not sure if if that's what they refer to as the grab and go style stores. Um, but I'm going to tell you this, the biggest threat to the future of cashier jobs is online shopping and those grab and go stores. Okay. And so online shopping, okay. How many of you shop at Amazon? Hands up in the chat. Okay. Cause I know I shop at Amazon all the time. Um, you know, I don't deal with a cashier there. I pick my item and Amazon delivers it. Or, you know, if it's not an Amazon truck, it's a postal truck or something. But to what extent these types of things are going to replace traditional retail stores, we don't know yet, but we can see it coming. We can see that we've got apps. In fact, there was somebody that commented on one of my videos. I was talking about my Flash Food app that I use, and the Flash Food app, it's only available in certain stores around the country, but allows when foods are getting close to their best by date, there is an employee that pulls those foods and puts them into their little Flash Food refrigerator in a special spot up in the front of the store. And then through the app, I go in the app and I shop for, once I get the notification that there's new items in there, I will go, oh, shoot. That reminds me, I was supposed to go pick up one today. Okay, anyway, you know what I'm gonna be doing when I'm done with this chat is be heading on up to Martin's. Anyway, you have to pick up your order, right? So I go in and I pick it up. But however, someone said by using that app that I was taking someone's job away, which I said there's no job that was taken away by using that app, because someone had to pull those items and then list them in the app that were available for that day. And then, of course, I selected them and I paid in the app. Then I went to the store. Someone had to pull my order and give it to me, and then I left. They didn't bring it to me at the curb or anything, but I had to actually go in. I had to show who I was, and then I had to get my order, and they gave it to me. I didn't get it. So I still had at least 2 to 3 employees have to help me in that Flash Food app. It didn't take anybody's job away, unless you're talking about me actually paying a physical human cashier. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. So yeah, I think it's like the removal of the cash registers. The Dollar General has all self-checks, card only, and 1 cashier that can take cash. Wow. We don't have that. Yeah, see, I am upset about this though. I don't mind the self-checkout if I can actually do cash. There were some at our Walmart, and like I said, I haven't checked all of them to see if there are any that take cash, and I would imagine there aren't, but there were slots that you can put in dollar bills and coins, and now you can't do that, and so I am upset about that. If you wanna pay cash, you'll have to go to a cashier, and that will take you longer to check out. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna be behind in the chat. So yeah, you've got those are the ones that's really our gripe is that we don't have the cash ones. Yeah, you can hardly even do checks at the bank even more anymore. Like, I mean, we still have checks that we get from the bank, but the only place I really write them is for my daughter's dance classes, and um at the hair salon. And I don't even really have to do that, but I do it. It's the only really place. And oh, and our tutor, the Japanese tutor. So we write. That's the only. Yeah, I hardly ever write checks anymore. Yes, this is what I said earlier. I agree with this. There are lots of jobs, but no one wants to work. Yeah. Yes, labor unions have definitely become something they weren't intended to be. There would still be child labor and illegal practices by employers. I'm not exact I can't speak to that. I don't know if we would have child labor because there's child, you know, unfortunately, it's because we send a lot of our stuff overseas and there's child labor over there in large Asian nations. And there's lots of child labor going on over there. I don't know so much as that they would do it here in the United States, but they certainly are doing it over there and allowing it, but that's not our country. It's none of our business over there. However, American companies are having things made over there like and child labor. So anyway, that's a different conversation. Oh, hey, Cynthia, good to see you. I'm late saying hello because I'm behind in the chat. Um okay, Walmart hires you in, you get hours during the training schedule, then they don't schedule you anymore. So I don't know. I can't speak to that as well either. That's not my experience. This sounds like this is your experience though. So um that's not cool if that's what's going on. I know my daughter was hired into Hobby Lobby and they will give her whatever hours she wants. And she got a whole bunch of hours over the summer, but when we started homeschool again, she's only working on weekends. However, when she says I can work any of these days, like we take the month of December off, and so she can work like all of December outside of whatever other activities and family stuff we have going on, and they'll say okay, and they'll work her, so that's not cool if you can. So I don't know if that means that you would be unemployed though. You're still employed by Walmart, you're just not getting a lot of hours. So, C Web, hello. I don't know if I have said hello to you or not tonight. So, hello. I don't mind when I have a few things, but I don't like it when I have a full cart. Other than two self checkouts with a conveyor, the rest have no conveyor. That's a very good point. And like a 2 foot square area for bagging. Yep. Now, I did see in our Walmart that they had like maybe two or four. I couldn't see the other side where it wasn't a belt, but it had a large area so that when you got your bags, when you scanned and you put your stuff in a bag, you could stack it all up on this area, which is nice because otherwise I always have to set stuff on the floor because I'm trying to get stuff out of my cart. So yeah, that's hard because if you've got a lot of groceries, like I do, I stock up when I go to Walmart. If there's usually a lot of stuff, you can't put it on the like the what's the word I'm looking for? The area, I want to say counter, area to set your stuff out of the cart, and then you could scan and then put it in a bag. Otherwise, you have to leave everything in your cart. So that is awkward. I will agree with that. I'm not saying that it's pretty looking at all. Um, yeah, the fast food places where you live paying 17, 18, 19 an hour. You guys, it's so unreal to me because when I was the age of working a fast food restaurant, which mostly is like probably, high school slash maybe college. I was minimum wage when I was working was 3.75 an hour. And these people working 19 an hour. Hobby Lobby full time is $18.90 an hour in Virginia. So, yeah. I mean, I have thought of taking a job just to make some extra money to help offset. I could take my money and put it more towards building up, the groceries and that kind of stuff. But because I still homeschool one. She's a junior, and I just can't take that time. I don't have enough time to be able to work. I'm taking everybody everywhere. I'm teaching people to drive. You know, um, sing along, son was sassy. Yes. Oh gosh, then this must be way behind. I must be way behind. Um, oh my gosh. See, here's another issue. I have a friend and she works, oh gosh, I cannot remember the job that she works, but it's in an office. There is somebody that does this all the time. And I'm surprised that they're not fired. They have a friend that works and because they call out and they're no show all the time. They don't show up. It's like, what the hey? Yeah, I've in my area, they're begging. I mean, you can walk in anywhere and pretty much get hired on the spot. They need people. And the one Dunkin' Donuts lady, I see her often. I usually see her on Tuesdays. And we go through there just to buy a coffee and cheer her up because she's the only one there. And sometimes they don't have any food. They're just doing drinks. And she's just so frustrated. She just doesn't have any help. Nobody they don't have any people to make the stuff. So yeah, this is another good point. I did see that fly by that they seem designed for people who are doing what they need today. It's like they don't want you to buy a lot of stuff. Isn't that it's like they want you to not do that. And I don't care. I will walk up there and be in my, full cart, 2 carts if I have, and I'm going to use because this is what you forced me to use, people. I do think that some of it depends on the country that we're in, is depending on the type of people that are going to be working, plus the type of employees that you have. Um, one of the things, the two sectors that are leading the charge in automation is definitely retail and fast food. Um, and some of the other things I was thinking about before I was like getting ready to do this live stream is that, we have lots of labor saving things in our homes. So, like I was talking about earlier, we bus our own tables, we shop for our own groceries, we take our carts back, we're doing some of this free labor, right? Pumping our own gas. Um, so we have in our homes, we have dishwashers, we have a washing machine, a dryer, we have Roombas, and those are automated things that we do that help free up our time so we can do other things, right? That's this whole thing, this industrial revolution, the wanting to have more time so that we're not constantly, at the sink or at washing clothes and doing all these things. It was going to free up our time. We're going to give the labor to that thing over there, and so that I can have more time to do this. And so that was just something that I was thinking about. We have all these areas where we're already doing kind of these labor jobs. I also want to say that this automated thing is not necessarily new. I think a lot of it is just like, oh gosh, we're coming into like the 2000s and all of this. Well, I want to tell you another history lesson. In 1902, the Automat restaurant was the first of its kind in Philadelphia. It was a cafeteria style establishment, and it was food that was delivered by a machine. It was a coin operated cafeteria. That's exactly what it was called. You put nickels into slots, you turn a knob, open a glass door, and that's where you got your food. And the reason they did this was to be able to keep prices down. So you didn't have a server. Okay, you went in, you picked out your own thing, you put your coins in, so you paid for it right there, right? So there's no cashier. You paid for it, you opened it up, and you got it. So the workers were back there behind, and they were cooking, baking, doing all the stuff, and putting the food in there, and then you would come in and get it, like your first vending machines, basically. But there was somebody on the back, putting the sandwiches and all that kind of stuff in. The reason they did this was that they could keep the prices down. So like you like your cheap prices of wherever it is you're shopping, they're keeping prices down because they're freeing up that labor. We take our cart back. That's why we keep prices down at Aldi, because we do that. We bag our own groceries, right? That's why we can keep the prices down. And one of the places I used to shop at when I first moved to Virginia was a store called Rack and Sack. You know, it was basically a warehouse type of shopping store, and you went around and picked your stuff. Same kind of thing. There was just someone that rang you up, and then you bagged your stuff. So you did everything except um, really pay for it then, because we didn't have these automated payment systems. Um, so anyway, back to the Automat restaurant. It started in 1902. It was started in Philly. It took off, but the reason that they stopped and the reason they went out of business, and if I remember right, it was somewhere around the 1990s. They closed the very last one, which was in Philadelphia, which is where they started, and it was the ever rising cost of ingredients for its original recipes is one of the reasons why they had to shut down, and the popularity of the fast food chains that started to come out, like McDonald's, Burger King, and in Philly, it was the pizza places. So kind of like where we're at today, it was the rising costs of the ingredients to make the things. They just couldn't do it because they were hand making everything versus having automated machines and that kind of stuff to make the stuff for them. Um, so yeah, let's see. Well, this is interesting, Nene. Walmart said they are under a hiring freeze even over the holidays, not hiring, but have ads out looking for help. That's interesting. Right. Cashiers do get paid by the hour, not the customer. But I don't expect to get paid. Like I said, way back when, this is nothing new. It's been like we have been a DIY generation for a while now. It's been leading up to this since the early 1900s. So we're doing, I don't expect to get paid to ring up my own groceries because I shopped for them, and I'm going to be packing them myself, but I don't expect to get paid because I'm not really doing someone else's job. So I just don't understand why wouldn't you want to. I'm taking all this great care. Again, I know I've said this before, but if you're just coming in, I said this and I'll just repeat it again. Why would I'm taking all this great care and time to select all of these groceries, and then I'm going to let someone else be careless with them and dent my cans and squish my bread and stuff because maybe they don't care about their job. They don't care. They just want to get paid. You guys have heard about this thing called quiet quitting, and they're just going to do people are just going to do exactly or only what they really need to do. And so you're going to get someone who probably doesn't even care. They're just there to make money and they don't care about your items, but I do. I care if my cans are dented, or if my boxes or things are ripped. I don't want my sugar or my flour exploding everywhere. I'm going to take good care. And so I'm going to do it most likely better than the cashier. So, anyway, that's my thing. Wow. My stepson doesn't get out of bed for less than $300 a day. Scary thing is he's getting it. Holy cow. Nice. Where's he working? Okay, I'm going to write this down so I can look at this. Affirmative action. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. Takes me a minute to write. I don't have an automated thing. Human laws for automation control. Okay. Doing laboring type work. Everyone is screaming for staff here. Okay. Hello, Bobo World. It is good. Thank you for being here tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Cannot afford to live alone because it's so expensive. I know that there are people I have families that I know that are, kids are moving back home because, and I say kids, they're 30. Not mine, but the friends that have their kids and they're in their 30s are moving back home because it's going to be easier and cheaper for families to combine resources and finances right now because of the markets and the prices of food and everything. It's cheaper to do that. Yeah, same here. Hobby Lobby started paying very well, and they're very well. They treat their employees very well. And you also get Sundays off, because they're just not open on Sundays. So this could be, yeah, so small town, this could be a small town thing. Like I like going to the hardware store that's been here for like 50, 60 years versus going to Home Depot or Lowe's because they have the same stuff and they know this area. And they've been in the business. And so I do like that. Oh, that's awesome. Your 72-year-old uncle is still working driving a bus. I love that. Oh, this is interesting. Aldi can scan so fast because they have UPC codes on every side of a product. Maybe. That's probably exactly why they can do that. They go through super fast. Oh, okay. So Aldi is adding a self checkout. Interesting. Well, I know that they could check me out a whole lot faster uh, than I could probably. Oh, that's sad. They shouldn't do that. Our cashiers at our Aldi are very careful about things. They put your bread and eggs up top, and of course, you know what? I put my things on the belt when I go to stores like that in the order that I want them put in the car. So I put all of the light things on the end, like chips, bread, and eggs, and things like that. I put at the end so that it goes on the top, so it doesn't get smashed. Because a lot of times you're right, don't care. You know what? This reminds me. So Aldi is also adding digital shelf pricing. They control price changes from a computer. This is very interesting. So they could literally change it on the fly. That might not be a good thing. Uh-oh, I'm gonna be in trouble, Bobo. I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about the cameras at Walmart. Is this why you said that? Because they have behavior ID software that reads your behavior and intent. And I was sitting there going nee, 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 in the camera when I'm at the register because I'm just like, yeah, I see you watching me. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get dinged for behavior problems. Oh, okay. So I don't know where this is coming in since I'm behind in the chat. Nope, the mark of the beast. No way. Is that when I was talking about the palm scan? I think the Amazon Go stores might be more in the over on the West Coast, so I'm not sure. Yep. So I want consent to having my palm or biometric scanned or used. Um, that's getting it's getting very, very close to home. And so yeah. There are some employees. I know that the Postal Service has a postal ID verification thing. It's being used more for employees, but they also use it for what's it called? Hold on a second. Informed delivery. And that is something that you would sign up for, and you would get information on what's supposed to be coming into the mail that day for you. So, anyway, I know that they do use that, and they use it for like passports and things like that. So some of it's getting close to home. Hey there, creating community. I don't know if you're still on the chat, but hello, my sassy friend, my sassy sister. Yes, okay. It's very tiring. I'm with you. I was just saying that the other day. I hate going shopping because it's tiring. It's mentally because you're doing mental gymnastics trying to um, look for the best prices, comparing all of these things, checking for shrinkflation and stuff. Yep. I'd like some more help from the staff without having to feel like a burden. We don't want you to feel like a burden. Is there a reason why, Ginger, that you refuse to use a self-checkout register? Is it just because you feel like you're giving into something, like giving into technology, or is it just because you don't like the system? Um, I'm curious when people say that they refuse to use the system. I'm just for curiosity, not that I want to, you know, um, I don't know, dig too deep or get too personal or anything. I just curious because people say, that this is, they ding it, they knock it, they don't like it, and I'm just curious to know why they don't. Um, so there's something else I was going to share with you. So this person that wrote this article brought up another point about standing in lines because we waste so much time. You know standing in line, wasting time because we have to wait. Okay. Um, but we still have to stand in line at places like the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. Don't know, not everybody knows what that is. I don't know. Or the post office, traffic court, and other government run places. But I also want to tell you that the postal service is getting more automated. So they have automated postal centers. So your post office blah, 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 can be closed to be after hours, but the front lobby will have an automated postal center in there. So you can get stamps, you can do basic things. You can, get so anyways, you can get your stamps, you can mail a package. If you know how to use it, you can go ahead and do it. And so during Christmas time at my postal center, I will usually go in and there will be someone walking around the lobby just trying to figure out, do you have a package that's ready to go? Trying to, keep the line moving. But for someone like me, he'll say, are you paying with a card? And I'll say yes. And he'll walk me over to the thing and I do all the postal center stuff. And he's just there, but he was letting me know I could go there and I mail my package at they call them APCs, and I mail it there versus going to the person, to the counter. So there's that, and there's also, I'm sharing my screen on this. There's also, oops, hold on. Here we go. The US mail is going to start drone mailbox. So in Indiana, back in August, there was a drone delivery mailbox, and it's working on accepting traditional posts from the US mail. And then that delivery will be followed by McDonald's delivering Big Mac and French fries to the same mailbox through a drone. Okay. So the US mail postal delivery is part of a pilot project. It's involving this company, Drone Deck Smart Drone Mailboxes. And this was in Lawrence, Indiana. All right. And the mailbox will receive both traditional mail and a food order delivered by a drone. Okay. So this is the future here. We've got smart mailboxes coming. Okay. And that was interesting. So you got some of that happening. Let me see if there was, all right. So I talked about that. Yeah, I talked about the biggest threats to the future of cashier jobs is online shopping. It's not the automated things. Let's see what is here. Oh, yes, this was the other thing I wanted to talk about. It was called The Curse of the Machinery in 1946. Let me get my screen up here. Which one is that? Is it this one? Yes. Ta-da! All right, so this 1946 classic, Economics in One Lesson. Okay, Henry Hazlitt spends an entire chapter discussing the curse of the machinery, as he calls it. And it describes the hysteria that has always accompanied technological progress throughout history. Wasting no time to make his point, here he goes. He says, the belief that machines cause unemployment, when held with any logical consistency, leads to preposterous conclusions. Not only must we be causing unemployment with every technological improvement we make today, but primitive man must have started causing it with the first efforts he made to save himself from needless toil and sweat. So he uses historical examples to support his point, and he talks about the Industrial Revolution. Um, they did fear a world in which labor saving machines, quote, threatened to put them out of work. So he talks about a stocking industry where workers were introduced to the new mechanical knitting machines known as stocking frames. And so this was something that was really big. We had riots over this. And so these machine wreckers were called Luddites. I think that's how you say that. And thus, that's when this term was born. I never heard of it until I actually did some research on this. So during the Great Depression, a group known as the Technocrats was formed in direct opposition to new machinery. When the economy goes to hell, everyone is eager to point fingers. And according to Hazlitt, the American technocrats cast the blame in the direction of the machinery. So yes, everybody wants something to blame. Things are going wrong, things are different, change is happening, change is coming, y'all. Change is coming. Hence the title is automation or sorry, self checkouts, this kind of thing. Is this our future? Yes. And I think we all know that it's coming to this. I don't think it's going to be happening, tomorrow, but already in 1932, those terrified of technology displacing workers thought themselves revolutionary in their discoveries. Likewise, those in Silicon Valley are misled to believe that automation will cause massive unemployment. Let's see here. Okay, here's the other thing. This looks at first glance like a clear loss of employment, but the machine itself, he's talking about those knitting machines, required labor to make it. So here, as one offset, are jobs that would not otherwise have existed. After the machine has produced economies sufficient to offset its costs, the clothing manufacturer has more profits than before. At this point, it may seem labor has suffered a net loss of employment, while it is only the manufacturer, the capitalist, who has gained. But it is precisely out of these extra profits that the subsequent social gains must come. Hopefully, the manufacturer will use the extra profits to expand his operations by buying more machines to make more coats, or he will invest the extra profits in some other industry, or he will spend the extra profits on increasing his own consumption. Whichever of these courses he takes, he will increase employment. And so that was part of the unemployment that I wanted to address, is that here you've got something like Uber. Uber, for example, may soon be significantly decreasing its need for human drivers as self-driving cars become a reality. We're not quite there yet, but they are here. My neighbor across the street has a Tesla. And I've actually seen that Tesla drive itself around the neighborhood. If it's not a Tesla, it's something else. But I could have swore it was a Tesla. But anyway, this does not mean that these drivers will be left destitute or jobless. Instead, Uber has simultaneously been expanding its delivery services from, get this, from flu shots, meals, and even puppies. Uber offers a variety of services that at this point in time still require human employees. If in the future drones are capable of replacing human delivery services, it will only be a matter of time before new opportunities become available on the market. And so, what I was kind of wanting to, I'll end my blabbing here, is that we have things that are already here, and we still need people to run them. For example, self-ticketing at the airport for your for baggage. You go in and you get a lot of your stuff now is you can print out your own ticket, you can print out your own luggage ID tags and stuff, and then you just kind of drop it off to the person in the front and then go to the gate and wait for your airplane. We already talked about US mail being delivered by drones. That's going to be a thing. And then there's food. You can get some other delivery. You can get packages delivered probably by drones, maybe. That might be a thing. It might be automated. There's a thing that's a cupcake ATM. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this or heard of it, but you can actually get your cupcakes through an ATM. You just walk up to the ATM and get a cupcake and it puts it out there. So anyway, I've never done it. I've only seen it. All right, let me go back up to the front here. Hello. And then there's also like those vending machine cars. Okay, you can pick out whatever car you want, and literally it looks like a vending machine, and then it drops the car down, and then someone delivers the car right to your front door. That happened in my neighborhood around the corner. I watched it happen when someone got their car delivered right to their front door. They didn't even have to go and get it. So you still need people to run them, but so jobs necessarily aren't going to disappear. They're just going to be, like relocated to a different part or doing something different. So anyway, I am, oh, we have gone so far over, and I'm so sorry. I know that some people have left, and I am so far behind on the chat. Oh, here's the thing. Yeah, the mobile ordering carts, right? There's a thing is you should use the Walmart app, but there are still people that shop for you and they bag it and they bring it to the area and they bring it out to your car. People are still working. But yeah, the mobile ordering carts, so many more people are doing that. And you can't get around them, like Lori said. They used to. That's right. The one whom Jesus loves. Yeah, they used to use child hard labor in the US. I don't know where that stands today. That would be something that I would need to check on. Thank you. If you're still in the chat or if you're going to come back later and watch anything else, thanks for being here. Labradorite. I don't know how to say this. I'm going to have to learn how to say that. Oh goodness. I am very behind in the chat. You know what? I'm just going to skip to the bottom and I will go back and watch the live chat replay when it gets posted so I can probably deal with some more issues or deal some more questions. I don't want to say issues, but yeah, everyone is dumping out. So I appreciate everyone being here and participating in the conversation. Yes, that's how I learned my first lesson in economics. It is a great cartoon. Yeah, see, I'm not crazy about the Teslas either. Um, wow, cost of that car was $75,000. Gosh, I can't. No, I just can't. Just can't. Yeah. My kids have our economics and money management type of books that we've had in school are the oh gosh, his name is Uncle something, and he wrote like Whatever Happened to Penny Candy, and that's the one we read a lot of those books, and we learned a lot about how everything works, how the economy works and stuff. So, yeah, it kind of reminds you of the cartoony kind of stuff. So, um, oh well, I didn't I never. I'm in a different place. I was not cooped up for the last 2 years. However, I do love to chat with people. As you can tell, I've been very chatty. I prefer people. Um, I love to talk with people. I just wish sometimes people would talk back to me because I try to get conversations going with cashiers, and a lot of times they don't talk to me. Where I have had people talk to me is in the ammo aisle at the hardware store, and I get these men that want to share about all the ammo stuff with me and their hunting excursions, and I'm like, oh wow, how did I end up here? But yes, I do like to carry on meaningful conversations with people. I just find that I can't carry on much when I'm in the cashier lane. I like to have one-on-one conversations with people, like let's go out for coffee and or go out to lunch. Let's do that thing. um yeah, machines don't smile, you know. I'm not expecting my self checkout to smile at me. That's just me, but I get it. You want human interaction, and so you go to the cashier, and hopefully you will get human interaction. I really do feel, speaking from experience, but also from people that I see when I go to Walmart, or any other store, that they are overworked, and they're underpaid. That's just the story of the retail and fast food. I mean, these are the two big, um, sectors that are leading all of this and as far as automation, they are overworked and underpaid. Okay. I mean, I'm with you on that. And I think that's why that there are just some sour attitudes. You try to cheer someone up. You can only do so much when you're in the checkout lane, you know? All right. So, yes, in my area, I can get to my post office box after hours because the main part that's closed is the window where you go do all of the interaction transactions and all that stuff. The automated postal center is open in the front lobby, and you can walk around to the side and get to your post office box. But that's my post office. I would assume they're all the same, but maybe not. So I'm so glad you all stuck around, and then y'all are just kind of like, boom, I'm done. I'm gonna go. So you know what will really help if y'all just make sure you hit the thumbs up. That really helps the video. And if you could leave a comment on the video, even if it's something like "Thanks for the chat," or you talk too much. That's fine too, because I talk too much, and I totally did not want to go an hour and 20 minutes. But this thing has really gotten me. I've had lots of conversations with people about automation. I'm not all for robots, coming around and being in my house. I'm not all for that. But I don't mind a self checkout. That's me. I don't mind. I'm not for bio scans. You want to start messing with my fingerprints? No way. No way, Jose. Yes, and I do hear this a lot. Older people usually talk because so many are lonely, and they are, and which is some of the reasons why a lot of them come back into the workplace is so that they can just have some interaction with people. And yeah. And I think there should be more interaction with them, and maybe we should be taking them out to lunch or something. Could be doing that. There's ministries around here. Oops, sorry. There's ministries around here that will deal with visiting, shut-ins or just older people and visiting with them because they really don't. There's a lot. I know that they probably do feel out of place in a society like this today because things are moving at such a rapid pace, and there could be people like us that could help them. So think we need another session of this. All right, KG, let me think of some stuff here to talk about this. Anything specific that we want to address? Is it more about automation or is it about employment? I wouldn't even mind. I would teach people. I swear I need to go into like Walmart or some of these grocery stores and teach them how to bag groceries because they're wasting bags. And I do need to, whoever put this in here, affirmative action, human laws for auto control. That was really interesting on that as well. Michelle, this is another, I did a video on stop spitting in tubes or don't give away your DNA. I can't remember, but I had little tubes on there. And what is happening is that people, they're giving away their DNA when you're spitting in tubes, like for the, what are those things? Ancestry and all of that. And they want to find their lineage and that kind of stuff. And they spit and they send it off. Now who has that and what are they going to do with it? And what I have seen, and because by way of advertising, if it's Ancestry or if it's a 123andMe thing, is now that they have your DNA and they tell you what ethnicity and all your percentages and maybe your family tree and all that kind of stuff. Now they start doing it in the name of health, telling you that you have something in your family history. And so we want to alert you of this so that you can like check in to see if you have this gene for cancer and stuff. No, too much personal information. Don't spit in those test tubes and send it off. It's like sending your fingerprint to the FBI. Just don't do it, people. Go watch my video. It sounds like Uncle Al. Go watch them. Sorry about that. Okay, yes. All right. I'm interested in what's happening now and what's coming in the future. Well, let's find some more stuff that's happening in the future. I will go do that. Yeah. doing that for the COVID too at one time. No, you're not getting any part of me. You're not sticking anything in me, and you're not sticking anything. I understand sometimes, like if you have to have a swab because you have strep throat or something, that's one thing. But no, no, stop spitting in the tubes and having it sent off. If you're doing it at your doctor's office, let's say you have to do a drug test and you pee in a cup, or you do something there and it's at your doctor's office, at least you have HIPAA and you have some other control factors in there. But when you're doing it and sending it off in the mail, nope. Nate, you're still here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, this part is cool, Michelle. When you do that and you find things like that, I get it. You do it, but yeah, it's like I mean, my kids have been tempted, and once they realize that, it's like you have your DNA. Do you realize? Yeah. Yep. Hello, Shelby. Did I say hi to you earlier? If I didn't, hello. All right, so it's getting late for me, and I was on here a lot longer. And so I tell you what, I will do some more I'll just do some more digging around on some things. We can talk more about what the United States Postal Service is doing, more about smart mailboxes and drone deliveries. We can talk more about bioscans. I can talk more about that if you guys are interested. Um and just trying to stay on top of, like, let's not be afraid. Let's pick our battles of what we really want to disengage and engage, right? Is it really the self checkout that's the issue, or is it the bioscan, right? So let's keep that in mind. I will do some more digging, and you all have a wonderful week. We have a very busy week planned. We've got a lot of things that are ending this week for us, like a lot of our extracurricular activities, which I can't believe we are already into this. And y'all, go vote on Tuesday, okay? Vote. All right, there's a lot of people that went before you to fight for this privilege and this right, women especially, to make your voice heard. So go vote, okay? You may feel like it's not important, but it is. All right. All right, I will catch you in the next video. I love y'all. Take care, be aware, and in prayer. Catch you next time.